video for a second. Okay, so I want to show you some IXL. When I was on number 1, actually, I wish I was still on number 1, but I'm not. Actually, I might be able to go back. Let me go back. Yeah, okay. So when you're on the first one, you can click Learn with Example if you want, and it will literally walk you through how to solve the equation. So that is a little tip that's super helpful. On this problem, it has many steps. So we're going to go through all the steps to solve this problem, okay? And I'm going to show you how. So it's 2v plus negative 2 minus a negative 2 equals 6. So, hold on. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to solve this problem. The first thing I have to do is distribute whatever's on the outside of the parentheses to everything that's on the inside of the parentheses. So 2 times v is how much?
2v.
2v. And 2 times a negative 2 is a negative 4. And then I'm going to bring down the rest. But what happens when there's 2 negatives right next to each other? They turn positive. So now I'm just going to write a plus 2 so I don't get confused with all those negatives. Now, important step. Remember combining like terms? On the left side of the equal sign, I have some like terms. I have 2 numbers that need to go together before I move forward. So what is negative 4 plus 2? Try again. Negative 4, positive 2.
Negative 6.
Anybody else want to help her?
Negative 4 plus 2.
It's a negative 4 and a positive 2.
2? Negative 2?
It's a negative 2. Good. So I put these 2 together because they're like terms and they equal negative 2. Then I'm going to bring down what I haven't used yet. I haven't used 2v and I haven't used the 6. Now I can solve using my steps, add or subtract first, then multiply or divide.
There's a negative 2, so you want to turn it to a positive, so you put positive 2.
Exactly.
And then positive 2, and then you cross out like those, and then you do 2 plus 6, which is 8.
Good.
And then you put the little 2 over 2v, so it'll be 2v over 2, 8 over 2v, and then you cross out 2v over 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4, so then it would be v over, like, blah.
That was really good. She walked us right through that. Okay, so v equals 4. Don't leave. All right. Okay, so the next problem is another one with the distributive property. So I'm going to have to distribute this negative 3 onto everything inside the parentheses. And you can't see my screen. There we go. So negative 3 times f is going to be negative 3f. And negative 3 times negative 9 is going to be a positive 27. And then bring down the equals 3 because we haven't used that yet. So now I'm just following my steps. Add or subtract first. I see a plus 27, so I'm going to minus 27 from both sides. Negative 3f equals negative 24. Now I'm going to divide by whatever's next to the variable. The negative 3's cancel out, and I just get f. Negative 24 divided by negative 3 is a positive 8. So let's put that in and submit. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead because this one is the same as the one I just did. And I'm going to show you a little bit harder one with an extra step. This is not what I want to show you. Okay, here's my next problem. So this one again breaks our rules of add or subtract first. So let's look at solving this one. So when I have an operation happening on top of my fraction bar, I have to get rid of the bottom number first before I can do anything else. So fraction means divide. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to multiply by 3. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So on this side, I'm just left with n minus 1. And 2 times 3 is 6. And then I'm going to get n alone again. So look at what's happening to the variable and do the opposite. I see a minus 1, so I'm going to plus 1. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Those cancel out, and I'm just left with n equals, and 6 plus 1 is 7. So let's put that in and see if we got it. And we did get it. Okay, this one is exactly the same, so you're going to multiply both sides by -2 first, and then you'll solve. Okay, so here's the next one, and again, it's a little bit different than the other ones we were doing, so let's look at it. So what I have now is I have a variable on both sides of my equal sign, and I don't want that. I want the variables to be on one side and the numbers to be on the other side. So that means I got to move one of my variables over to the other variable. The way you move a variable is the same way that you would move a number. Since this 5r is negative, I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to plus 5r. And whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I'm going to combine my r's on this side. So -3r plus 5r is 2r. And then those r's on that side canceled out, and I'm just left with -8 on this side. So now I can go ahead and finish solving the equation. I see multiplication happening, so I'm going to do the opposite. R equals -4. So let's try that. See if it worked. It worked. Okay. Be right back. Okay, this is the last example I'm going to do for IXL today. You only have to get to 30 for today's IXL. I give you the same IXL for the whole week because these problems are difficult and they take a little longer. So you're just getting a little bit higher each day. Pay attention to the score that you're supposed to get to. So on this problem, let's go ahead and look at it. I have to distribute on both sides of my equal sign. What I'm going to distribute on this side is the negative. What I'm going to distribute on the other side is the 2. So negative times 2 is -2. And negative times 2u is going to be a -2u. Then on the other side, 2 times -4 is -8. And 2 times -2u is going to be a -4u. Now, I've got to get my variables on one side and my numbers on the other. So here's what I need to do. I need to see what I have. I have a variable here and a variable here. Then I have a number here and a number here. So somehow I've got to get the variables to go to one side, the numbers to go to the other. So let me move the variables first. I'm going to move this 4u to this side. Okay, and remember, you're doing the opposite. So since it was a -4u, I'm plussing 4u to both sides. That cancels out. And on this side, I have -2 plus 2u equals -8. Now, since I moved this 4u over here, I'm going to move this -2 to the other side. So again, I'm going to look at what's happening. I'm going to do the opposite. Since it's a -2, I'm going to plus 2 to both sides. Bring down the 2u. -8 plus 2 is -6. Now my final step will just be dividing out the 2 to get that u alone. and u equals -3. Okay, so let me know if you have questions, if you get stuck, if you have trouble. Be specific and let me know what is throwing you off the most or what type of problems is throwing you off the most. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.